We've been counting down Donald Trump's 100 most tremendous scandals for about a week. It just occurred to me that we should have left a blank spot in this countdown for whatever shit he's done since we started doing this countdown. And now we're down to the top 25. These are the big ones. These are the scandals that are going to cement President Trump's place in the history books. Assuming history books are still allowed after November. So let's start the countdown at number 25.
Donald Trump and his father built the family's empire by dodging taxes for decades. It reportedly included instances of outright fraud.
Peaceful protesters were tear gassed.
These aren't people. These are animals.
Conditions at migrant detention facilities are simply horrific.
President Trump swiftly fires the acting attorney general.
Fired 5 independent watchdogs.
The diverting of billions of dollars from the Pentagon budget to fund the president's border wall.
This is an island surrounded by water, big water, ocean water.
China should continue building these concentration camps for the mass detention of Uyghur Muslims because President Trump thought that, quote, was exactly the right thing to do.
And then we fell in love. Okay? No, really.
It's funny that the relationships I have, the tougher and meaner they are, the better I get along with them.
Disbanded this commission that he had set up to back up his false claims about voter fraud.
Playing another round of golf, and that was his 284th visit to one of his golf clubs since taking office.
Our media is the enemy of the people. Somebody said I should not criticize judges. Okay, I'll criticize judges.
Trump has now made more than 20,000 misleading or false statements.
The president, who routinely skips reading the president's daily briefing.
Mailmen selling the ballots. They're being sold. They're being dumped in rivers.
Russia wanted Donald Trump to win, that his campaign was eager to accept Russia's help.
The president said, I need loyalty. I expect loyalty.
Woodward pressed the president about MBS's role in Khashoggi's murder. Trump told Woodward, I saved his ass.
Another woman comes forward with another claim about Donald Trump's behavior.
Separating children from their families at the border.
This is CNN Breaking News.
President Trump has been impeached.
How does he even have the energy for this many scandals? I mean, I have a theory, but our lawyer said that we don't have any proof, so we can't put it on the list. Number 1 is still ahead, but now let's look at scandal number 2. Gather around for this one, everybody. Well, not too close, keep 6 feet. A global pandemic would be a crisis for any president, but it would take Donald Trump to turn coronavirus into not just a scandal, but one of the biggest scandals of all time.
You can call it a germ, you can call it a flu, you can call it a virus, you can call it many different names. I'm not sure anybody even knows what it is.
Trump was working on screwing up the pandemic before there was even a pandemic to screw up.
The Trump administration disbanding the National Security Council's pandemic unit in 2018.
We worked very well with that office. It would be nice if the office was still there.
And when the outbreak began in Wuhan, the Trump screw-ups really began taking off. As China tried to hide how bad things were, Trump helped them cover it up because he wanted a trade agreement.
It's all taken care of, and China's working very hard on the problem.
That's called the art of the deal. The next screw-up came when the virus reached America.
You have 15 people, and the 15 within a couple of days is going to be down to close to 0.
Just as China was finally admitting that this thing was more viral than a white girl dancing on TikTok, Trump began doing the opposite.
This is a flu. This is like a flu. It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear. You're going to have a kid with the sniffles, and they'll say it's coronavirus, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, according to Trump, COVID was something you could simply ignore, like consent.
When you're a star, they let you do it.
But even though COVID was no more harmful than just a case of the sniffly whifflies, he still put together a task force led by the smartest guy he could find, one office over. And this guy had lots of experience when it comes to not handling a public health crisis. While Trump continued to promise that COVID
is going away, and it will go away, and we're going to have a great victory,
he did everything he could think of to make sure it stuck around.
So I said to my people, slow the testing down, please.
With the masks, it's going to be really a voluntary thing. You can do it. You don't have to do it. I'm choosing not to do it.
The Trump administration dismissed the PPE shortage and instead encouraged reusing supplies.
I don't take responsibility at all.
Eventually, Trump was persuaded to take the pandemic a little more seriously.
I am confident that by counting and continuing to take these tough measures,
even if he pretty clearly wasn't happy about it.
Okay.
Hey, I know how you feel, Donald. I get cranky too when the pandemic pulls me away from my 18 hours of golf. But before long, the second wave of screw-ups would begin as Trump went full snake oil salesman.
Hydroxychloroquine. Try it, if you'd like. And then I see the disinfectant. Is there a way we can do something like that? By injection.
Turns out the D in DJT stands for doctor, and the J stands for Jesus. Did he just say that we should inject ourselves with bleach? Still, his people rejoiced, sharing the good news about why masks are bad.
You're a bunch of pussies wearing masks! You're violating federal law! Return to your service of Satan! Back off!
And showing up at his rallies without a care in the world.
They are dying. That's true. And it is what it is.
As the U.S. became a global leader in coronavirus, it seemed like the good times would never end until it all came crashing down.
Breaking news overnight. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump test positive for the coronavirus.
At least 28 people connected to President Trump have tested positive for COVID.
It's a sobering reminder that coronavirus is real, and even the most powerful people, even the President of the United States, are vulnerable to this terrible disease. Nah, you can't hurt Donald Trump. His blood is made of cheeseburgers.
I'm immune. I could come down and start kissing everybody.
So even as Trump's first term comes to an end,
COVID,
his most impressive scandal keeps soaring to new heights.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your response to this crisis?
I'd rate it a 10.
Be honest. When Tom Hanks caught the Rona back in March, did you really think we'd still be dealing with this shit in November? 8 months. It's been 8 months. I'm starting to think having a president with an attention span of 8 seconds was a mistake. Well, you've seen Donald Trump's top 99 scandals. The man is a tax-dodging, Putin-loving, pussy-grabbing, bleach-drinking crybaby. Which brings us to his most tremendous scandal. He's somehow still president. How? How is he still the president? You would think at number 60, somebody would have said something. Unbelievable. How